we're now ready to move to the next module about Standard V, Program Admissions. Now this standard refers only to those admission processes and procedures that are specific to the massage bodywork or aesthetic program. Admission requirements, policies, and procedures may be set by the institution to be the same for all programs, or they may be program specific. So for programmatic accreditation, this would refer to just specific program admission requirements, not necessarily enrolling into the institution. Admission policies must be established, they must be published, and they must be implemented fairly. This standard includes two components: admission policies and procedures, and advertisement recruitment and disclosure requirements. And these disclosures involve program costs, accreditation status, licensing requirements, as well as salary and employment expectations that may be published. Let's look at admission policies and procedures first. Now, these do refer to admission to the program, not the recruiting and enrollment process that may have happened earlier. We will look at that in Standard 13. But your admission policies and procedures that have been established must be consistent with your mission and objectives. And they must be designed to ensure that programs only admit those who can, quote, reasonably be expected to benefit from the instruction. This is a federal requirement and usually involves evidence that the student has a high school completion or equivalent, or there is an approved ability to benefit test. You can get more information about this in the standards and the lessons. All admission decisions must be based on this clearly published admissions criteria, and this is where documentation is important and should be maintained in the student files. The next section of the standard involves advertisement and recruitment and states programs are accurately represented in all marketing and promotional materials as well as verbal communications. So for programmatic accreditation, we're only going to be asking for program level marketing materials. It's also promotional materials too, anything that goes out. Institutional accreditation candidates, there are going to be additional advertising guidelines found in Standard 13. Now, there are certain disclosures that must be published either by the institution or the program itself. One of these is total program costs. Now, for those of you that are in institutions that only publish a per credit hour cost, it is still up to the program itself then to list and publish a total cost so that prospective students can make a fair comparison between programs. You must also publish your accreditation status and licensing requirements. These include the current state as well as a reference that other states may vary and a resource for students to find out what those state requirements may be. The disclaimer that local municipal laws may apply in absence of state license, and a note regarding any criteria, for example, criminal record, passing an exam, which could prohibit a graduate from obtaining licensure. Now, you're not required to fully vet or do a background check on all your prospective students. That's not required. What is required is that programs publish this information up front so that the prospective student himself or herself would know if that would apply. And so they would have fair warning before they enroll in the program. Some programs choose to publish salary and employment expectations. These are not required, but if you do, they must be accurate, and you must identify the source of this information and the date to keep it current. More details on all of these are going to be found in the following course lessons, as well as the COMTA website with the standards and the SSR. If you have further questions, you may contact the COMTA office. Good luck.